Welcome everybody to another episode of Locked In GSW Podcast. I'm Brian Ferrino, joined by me is my co-host Jordan Medeiros. We also got our regulars on here today after a big win. Mr. Bashar himself, we're now reminded, Chris Polo, and Super Dave from Real Talk Niner Talk. How we doing, fellas?
Doing good,
All
doing
right, pretty
good.
good now.
Really good.
Yes, sir.
Third quarter sucked.
Let's get right into it, fellas. Warriors come in, take a 3-2 series lead, win at home. Steph Curry had a struggle game. That's okay because Andrew Wiggins came in and destroyed it. Was it 26 points? I think 13 rebounds, right?
26, 13 total.
26 and 13, yeah.
rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block.
Yeah. Plus 12 minus.
Yes, sir. And the Warriors came out hot from the beginning. So let's go ahead and jump in. Chris, what are your thoughts on tonight's game?
You win a game and Steph Curry doesn't hit a three for the first time in like
Forever.
50 years. Like what the hell? Like how does that even happen against a defense like Boston? Wiggins, Clay, Jordan Poole, they all had to step up at some point in the series to give Steph support. And Clay was talking about that in his post-game presser, like we have to get him some help on Monday, and they did. I think this is Jordan Poole's best game, in my opinion, in the series. Andrew Wiggins balled out. Clay was big time, especially at the end there when he hit that three. He had a couple late threes, and they were kind of daggers. And the defense tonight was so elite. I mean, they made everything difficult in that fourth quarter. Like, it kind of felt like they were actually replicating the Celtics were kind of replicating what they did in the fourth quarter of game one in that third quarter. And that had me pretty worried because I didn't understand how the Warriors were going to be consistently scoring at that point when they were really struggling. And Steph wasn't in rhythm, obviously. He had his worst game in a while. And they really just took Jason Tatum out of it. And we have to have a conversation about Jason Tatum because his fourth quarter numbers are horrible. I remember they were going over it a lot on TV all day today about his fourth quarter shooting percentage. I need to check what it is now and all those updated stats, but he has been awful closing these games. So great defensive effort, great team effort. They got big stops when they needed it. Guys stepped up. And I don't think Steph Curry is going to play like that in Game 6.
Nope.
Nope.
I just want to say what's up to Gaming with Nate 25. He just graduated from high school, so shout out to him. But he says, "What's up, my boy 49er?"
Congratulations.
Yes.
He's a Warrior. He's a 49er fan and a Warrior fan. So congrats to him. And what's up, Mahoney? He's celebrating the Giants, but we're celebrating the Warriors. So go ahead.
It's a trifecta today. Giants, Warriors, Stanford.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Stanford
Bay
won
Area.
today too.
Bay Area.
Honestly, they won this game because of the first quarter. He started hot. And then Andrew Wiggins, in my opinion.
What I liked early on, actually what I loved early on, and I wish it lasted throughout the whole game, probably because the guy didn't want to, just empty out his gas tank all through, right away. But Draymond was electric in the beginning. I mean, he was pushing the break, and I love it when he does that. I wish we saw more of it, but he was getting involved offensively any way possible. I loved it when he did that fake where they thought he was going to pass it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a Jordan Poole up top on the top of the key, and then he just went boom, and then took it straight to the hoop and dunked. I've seen him do that a few times where he gets layups and dunks, like last year and earlier this year. But love the fact that it did it. Love the fact that GP2 was definitely involved. Defensively, offensively, moving around. He's just that energy guy that you love to have out there. I want to see him get the big dunk. He was getting lob passes in the regular season and getting all kinds of crazy two-handed dunks. It looks like he's taking it up quick, but he's not taking it up for the easy dunk. This guy can dunk like he's 6'8", but I guess he's cautious because he doesn't want to hurt his elbow or something. But
that'll make you cautious.
Oh yeah, exactly. But obviously Curry. Not that Curry played horrible. I'm sure 3-point shooting wise he played obviously bad because he didn't make anything. But it's not like he was non-existent in the game or anything like that. 8 assists.
16 points.
16 points.
It's okay. I mean, it's not the worst game he ever had. But obviously 3-point shooting wise, Clay 21 points, can't complain there. I mean, obviously, and we all know about Wiggins. I was curious though when they started off. Otto Porter Jr. got the start at center, right?
Yeah, he got started. He
Yeah.
started 2 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't
And,
like that still.
I don't like it
Me
either. I don't know why
neither.
they do it. I don't know why they do
like
it.
it.
Just start
Because
Poole. Like you said,
if
just
it
start
was
Poole, man.
mentioned last time, when you have Looney and Draymond in at the same time, it seems to mess up the flow of the offense.
Yeah, but I would rather have Jordan Poole out there over Otto Porter because I don't think Otto Porter's really producing anything that like
Yeah,
even if
but
Draymond and Clay and Wiggins are out there, they're your three primary defenders. So it's not like Otto Porter's like a lockdown defender. I think Otto Porter
I think
was
he's a
kind of
better
thrown off his
defender.
rhythm by starting. When he was
I
coming
think
off the
he's a
bench, he
better
was shooting the
defender
lights
than
out.
Poole.
Looney was
Because
struggling
every
too.
time Poole was in there, when Boston got back into the game, they were going off of Poole. You know, Marcus Smart inside. Whenever he was in a matchup, they seemed to take advantage of Jordan Poole. I think getting him out early in the third quarter, allowing us to kind of stop the bleeding, really helped. But just the defensive pressure to begin with. Every shot contested from Boston, they were like 0 for 11, their first 3-pointers. We didn't out rebound them, but we caused 16 turnovers.
We were
We won
forcing
that
the
battle
turnovers.
16-6. When
Yep.
you get somebody off their game like that, nothing but good things can happen.
But
Yep.
here's why I would start Jordan Poole though, because so in the post game presser, Udoka was talking about how they're not going to change the way that they guard Steph Curry. That was definitely bullshit. There was no way they're
Yeah.
actually going to keep like rolling with that after he just dropped 43 in a tied series in a best of 3. There was no way they were going to keep doing that. So the reason I would start Jordan Poole if they're going to switch that starting lineup is because it's going to give you another player that can handle the ball, that can attack the rim off the dribble and beat a man off the dribble. Otto Porter's not going to beat anyone off the dribble. Otto Porter is essentially a catch and shoot 3-and-D type of player, whereas Jordan Poole can help Steph get things a little more open to just let that offense not feel as suffocated when Steph Curry's getting blitzed, because Clay's an off the catch guy also. He's not really someone who's going to beat his man off the dribble very often. Wiggins is playing great, but to have another guy out there who's actually a threat, I think will help, because it's not like Otto Porter's a lockdown defender. I do agree he's obviously a better defensive option than Jordan Poole because he's bigger, he's longer, he's a better rebounder, of course. But like I said, if Draymond's out there and Otto Porter's out there, you're already small ball anyways. So Draymond, Wiggins, and Clay are your primary perimeter defenders. If you're taking away Jason Tatum and you're taking away Jaylen Brown, that's all you really need to do. You just have to hope that those other guys don't hit shots and do whatever you can to close out on those corner threes. So I would start Jordan Poole to just see if I can open up Steph Curry a little bit, because when they do what they did tonight and they do it in Boston, I want Steph to not feel so out of rhythm from the very beginning of the game. And Jordan might just get himself going earlier, and you don't have to take away Steph Curry's minutes to do that either. So I'm just saying, if they're going to not go with the regular starting lineup, I would rather have Poole.
Yeah.
Even if it's just for like 4 minutes, and then you put Looney in.
How
The
about
only
that
thing
belt?
about Poole is his dribbling is inconsistent. There are times where he dribbles erratic and very easily turns the ball over. That's why I'd be a little gun shy at starting him at this point.
It is inconsistent, but I think that Jordan Poole, when he's not attacking and he's in the game, then he's kind of useless. Because when he's in the game, I want him to be aggressive, but I actually feel better if Steph Curry's out there with him rather than in the non-Steph minutes. The non-Steph minutes tonight were bad for a while until that fourth quarter came around and Jordan Poole started getting in his rhythm. And like Shifty's saying, like, yeah, Jordan Poole off the bench for a spark sounds great, but he's not been a spark off the bench very consistently in this series. I would think that Otto Porter playing 15 minutes or almost 15 minutes, 2 points, I think you can get better production than that if you're starting Jordan Poole, because Jordan Poole only played 14 minutes. I feel like there's a lineup. I think it's Steph, Poole, Clay, Wiggins, and Looney is actually, I think, going into this game, their highest plus minus for a lineup. I think Jordan Poole gives you a chance to just hit the ground running immediately. And they did, mostly because of their defense in the first quarter. But let's be real. This is a game where offensively, they struggled so bad. They should have been beating them by like 20 points in the first half. They should not have been up like this 12, 11-point leads. They should have been up way
That's
more.
why I was still scared after halftime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, we lost the rebounding battle tonight, 39-35. But Wiggins, of course, was just a monster on the boards when it mattered. Obviously, 13. And you guys mentioned it earlier, but I'm just so I want to mention it again because I'm so happy to see it. You know, we barely turned the ball over in this game in comparison to other games. Only 6 turnovers for the whole damn game. You know, and we forced 18. So shout out to the ball. You know, Warriors for handling the ball properly, even though Curry had his crappy 0 for whatever 10 shooting night on 3-point land. I don't know how many he launched, but
Nice.
you know, yeah, it's just good to see, man. Good to see that, you know, in other areas we can fix it. Even though we're bad in some areas, in other areas we can overcome it. What's up, Cory?
Jason Tatum has the most turnovers
What's good, Cory?
in a playoff run, by the way. Did you guys see that?
Say it one more time, Chris.
What about Tatum?
Jason Tatum has the most turnovers from any singular player in a playoff run. 95 turnovers in this playoff.
Wow.
Yeah.
He shot 50%
That's not
today.
surprising, though.
On paper, he looked good today statistically as far as shooting, but when it counted, we made him miss.
Boston.
I thought he was
throws.
very tentative tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very tentative. He
in the fourth quarter,
charge.
especially.
Jaylen Brown seemed to take charge of that team.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where Tatum has been all series long. I hope he keeps it up this way for next game.
Jaylen Brown's the only guy that scares me. Brown's the only guy that scares me on our team.
I think. Brown was pretty
quiet. Okay, so here's my next question. Let's talk about Draymond Green.
I was going to ask that too.
He came out aggressive, looked 100 times better, and he was locked in tonight. What are your guys' thoughts? Cory, we'll start with you since you just joined.
Start with someone else. I missed pretty much the entire second half. I was busy.
Well,
Draymond needed to do something after Game 4.
I saw the first half of the 8 points. I see he didn't score again, and I see he also fouled out.
He played like someone who was really pissed off that he got benched in the fourth quarter of the last game, which is exactly what he needed. I think the first play that people really saw from Draymond where we knew like, okay, he might be having a bounce back game night was he tried to cut off a pass to advance the ball past half court. And he dove out of bounds trying to save it. And the crowd started to get loud because we kind of felt like, okay, this is the hustle Draymond. He's gonna be locked in. Right from there, I kind of knew, okay, we're gonna get regular like Draymond we're used to seeing. And then like Bashar brought up earlier, the fake dribble handoff, which is something that he does from time to time. Because like it takes one of those, it starts making that defense have to actually think about it the next time they run a dribble handoff. So seeing him being more aggressive, I still don't like it when he's taking threes, but seeing him be aggressive was very, very positive. If that Draymond carries over into Boston in Game 6, this should be wrapped up.
Yeah. Well, I also wanted to point out too that three that he shot from the corner that was, I think it was ending the half, I believe, right? Yeah. If he made that, that crowd was going to erupt.
Yeah.
Hey, but speaking of ending shots though and making shots, Jordan Poole had that nice buzzer beater, didn't he? I forgot at what point in the game it was.
End of the third quarter.
End of the third. There you go. That was beautiful.
He's 100% on half court buzzer beaters in this series.
He should keep shooting more of them.
Hey, I'm going to show this real quick.
What?
So you remember how
what's
Jason
that noise, dude?
Is that a dog?
Hold on a second. I'm gonna mute.
Right. Is he all right?
She's choking.
My dog used to do that. My dog used to eat so fast he would just cough for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, my dog does that sometimes too. But so remember how Jason Tatum a while ago texted Kobe Bryant saying, "I got you today"?
Oh, God.
Well, somebody made this.
Oh my God.
He said, performance, Andrew Wiggins, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Andrew Wiggins is better. Warriors in 6.
Oh, man.
It's kind of hard for me to see, but I see it now.
Yeah.
Here, hold on. Let me see.
I had to zoom in on my screen.
There you go.
There you go.
Legacy game for Andrew Wiggins.
That is pretty funny. Yeah, man. Who would have thought Wiggins would do this, man?
Everyone thought, like, this dude doesn't care. He doesn't care to win. His passion's not there. And he not only's been performing, but he's gotten better as the games have gotten more important. Mm-hmm. A lot of players that are great disappear. Like Jason Tatum fourth quarter's really disappearing in this series. Andrew Wiggins steps up. It's awesome to
Two-way
see.
wigs.
Dude,
He's showing why he was the number 1 draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
That the aggressive Andrew Wiggins we see right now is what Minnesota fans were wanting every night. Like that was his criticism, and we're getting that aggressive Wiggins.
Except that usually when you're drafted number 1, you're supposed to be a leader of a team that can actually lead a team, and Wiggins clearly can't do that.
Yeah.
So he said Andrew Wiggins on his teammates say that's love. That's what makes all this work. We all support each other. So, I mean, we have a locker room like that, man. Just everything just goes right. You know what I mean? And also, too, let me see here. Clay's. Oh, I guess not. Never mind. Go ahead, Jordan. You got a question?
Hold on, I'm looking up something.
So, anyways, so let's talk about it. So, third quarter, Celtics come out, start hitting threes, back to back, 8 out of 8, right? What do you think happened to the Warriors defense right there?
They were playing zone.
Yeah. Usually that's the Warriors quarter to go off, right? And I think they only scored what? I think 24 maybe. I want to say.
It was 35-24 in the third.
Yeah. So
only time you'll ever see that. Warriors outscored their opponents in the third quarter in every single game, and it's usually not even close.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics almost matched their whole first half score in that quarter.
Right.
Yeah. That's true.
39 in the first quarter. I know
that. So, I mean, I'm still in shock that the Warriors actually pulled this win off with Steph shooting 0 for 9 from the 3 and just having just a horrible night,
And his threes weren't even close.
Yeah, they were like
it was short on a lot of them in the first half of what I saw.
Even in the second half too, even when they were wide open, he wasn't getting.
You want to know how we won? You guys want to know? Turnovers were 18-6.
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought that up. Yeah.
The Celtics and Warriors. The Celtics and Warriors are interesting. They both have like this same stat of once they hit 16 turnovers, their record is significantly worse.
And yet we ended up
how identical it is.
Back to Steph. What was it at the very end, towards the end, where Steph had like the ball to 3-point line, and then he had somebody on him, and then he took another dribble and stepped back and shot it up. That was the one time I thought he'd make it.
Yeah,
the one thing I didn't like is though. Well, I love the fact that we were forcing turnovers and getting breaks, but what I hated was so many missed opportunities on breaks. Good thing we won the game, but there were so many times where they had numbers and they're opting for 3-point buckets and bricking, and like. Come on, guys, just get the easy layup or try to get a dunk or something,
I'm thinking of that 2-on-1 where Thompson had it.
Yeah.
He could have easily gotten a layup, and he passed it up to Steph, and Steph bricked it again.
Even if Steph just attacked the basket on that cut, because listen, like Steph was pretty open for that 3, but I think
he was
hesitating a lot.
He just didn't have it tonight.
Yep. He will this game.
I think game 4 really, really tired him out, I feel like. I mean, I know it's 2 days, but still. Go ahead, Cory.
We committed 12 more fouls than they did, and they ended up going to the free throw line 31 times to our 15. The difference, they missed 10 free throws.
Yeah.
Tatum missed 4 of them.
What did you guys think about the foul calls tonight?
It was weird how many more fouls I don't know exactly the numbers, but it felt like once the second half came around, they were just not letting them play anymore. It was just weird. But the one thing that was really making me nervous for the Warriors was in that fourth quarter, their defense was elite at that point. Like they were making things really difficult. But down the stretch, they started fouling Boston like 4 or 5 seconds into the shot clock. And I'm sitting there like, you guys have these guys clamped up. Don't make it so easy. Like they were getting the basket so fast and fouling so quickly and just putting them at the line. If the Celtics were hitting their free throws tonight, like throughout the whole entirety of the game, could have been a different story. I don't know. But to me, it was just, you got to clean that up if game 6 comes around and you have a lead on these guys and it's close on the road because they might get, the home court
Yeah.
calls,
yeah.
and you don't want to put them on the free throw line when you're trying to have a closing run and making it so easy. Because it's one thing if you're fouling, but to foul so quickly over and over again, you're just like asking them to crawl their way back into the game.
But what is that BS when Marcus Smart does it? And I saw Williams or Wyatt or whoever those guys, and they keep doing it and getting away with it. And at one point it happened went on a replay, and the announcer was like, "Oh, that's not a foul." Like they do this bullshit where they hook, they grab somebody's arm and hook it in.
When he
what he said was, "It's not a foul if they don't see it."
That's what he said. Oh, okay. I thought he was trying to say it wasn't a foul at all. I was like, I've seen it. I've never seen a team so deliberately just like hook people's arms and act like it's not a foul. It's
Jordan. Let's
Jordan
give a round of applause for Jordan.
There was a lot of flopping.
I was about to say that.
Listen, a lot of flopping. Jordan Poole got away with a lot tonight.
Very
Marcus
high
Smart tried to get away with one when Clay hit that three in the second quarter.
Yeah, when he flew back.
I was kind of scared when Marcus Smart was hitting those wide open shots. So we were here goes Curry missing everything.
Hey, Clay pulled the Jason Tatum move. That's what he did.
It's funny.
Jason Tatum does that all night, man. He extends
it's funny
that arm.
Though because of the fact that Jordan drew that foul on a flop against Marcus Smart. That's what made it funnier to see Marcus Smart complain about a guy flopping and getting called for it.
He was bitching, man.
Can someone explain to me how Boston attempts twice as many free throws as us? We were driving to the hole in that first half like crazy, and we can't end up getting a call.
The second half, they were driving to the hole like crazy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of
31 to 15 is ridiculous.
Like late in that game, they
12 more fouls is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Usually these things even out by the time the game is over. 12 more fouls, 16 more free throws, and they still get blown out by 10.
I put it more on the Warriors' defense late in that game because there was one, and they tried to challenge it, but off a made basket, Marcus Smart was already all the way down the floor drawing a foul off a made basket. Like practically one-on-one with Steph, or Draymond. I can't remember exactly how that play transpired, but to me, it was like they'd already fouled really quickly, like a couple times before that. You got to get back there. You can't, like I was saying, they're putting them on the line so fast. Like they weren't even allowing themselves to try to make the Celtics earn points off a full shot clock. Like they were going at really like the Warriors' pace at that point, just putting their head down and going really fast, and they just kept putting them on the line. So that better get cleaned up. It's not. Yeah, they were fouling, but the main problem was they were not stopping the Celtics on the point of attack. They were just off the dribble, beating their man way too easy.
Do you think the officiating was called relatively down the middle tonight, at least in the second half?
I
think that, like,
I'm a Celtics fan. I'm saying no.
I don't know. All these games in this series, honestly, have been really weird. Like Kevon Looney got called for another stupid illegal screen today. Like it's been weird.
I don't. The first four fouls were ridiculous on him. I don't the first four that I saw.
That last foul that Draymond fouled out on was very questionable.
Yeah.
That's the one I was talking about too.
That should have been a foul on Steph Curry, not Draymond. If it was going to be a foul.
Yeah, because he fouled him earlier before he even got off the shot.
Luckily, it was so late in the game to the point where they were able to survive 3 minutes.
Yeah,
I think it was on Tatum. There was one play where Draymond got all ball, and like they just straight up called a foul.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of questionable.
There was that one part. I don't know. I think it was the end of the third. Was it the end of the third quarter where Draymond was like following around Tatum on this? I was like, what's Draymond doing, man? I don't want to get a T.
He was in their head tonight. He got Smart pissed. He got Tatum pissed. He was back to his good old self there. That's something we really needed.
Yeah, because listen, these players listen. They listen to stuff, and I'm telling you, the last few days, people have been highlighting. Like I forget which show it was this morning, but I was watching it when I was at the gym, and I don't know if it was First Take or another show. Yeah, it was because they were talking about who was more disappointing in the series, Jason Tatum or Draymond Green, and they were debating that. And they were going over Jason Tatum's numbers, and I wish I had it pulled up somewhere, but his fourth quarter numbers are horrendous. And Draymond knows this stuff. First of all, the dude has his own podcast. There's no way he's not listening to this other stuff and taking it
He's
in.
on
Like
right now.
They know, like they're lying if they act like they don't listen to that stuff. They know Tatum's numbers in the fourth quarter of this series, and that right there was Draymond trying to dig deeper into his head to ensure that, because they know these guys have not been to the finals before. Put them mentally on their heels as much as you can, because I feel like what they really tried to do tonight was not just beat the Celtics. I felt like defensively they were trying to take their will to play the rest of this game completely out.
Yeah,
from the very
that's
beginning.
why I was going to agree with you when I first jumped on there, Chris, is because, and again, I missed, I don't know, about 6-7 minutes of what you guys were talking about before I could jump on. The Warriors went for their throat very early in this game. And you made the point of saying, why the hell couldn't they have been up by 20 by halftime? Because they should have. Missing a lot of open shots. The defense was just on straight lockdown on that entire first half. Second quarter, they ended up getting a few more points. 16 points in the first quarter, that's a statement. And I understand in a lot of different ways that there's things generally balance out as the game progresses. But Boston couldn't hit a three until 6 minutes in the first half. I mean, they were ice cold. Now the Warriors ended up getting into a struggle there where they missed, I think, 14 in a row in the second half. So Boston comes out blitzing, giving us their best, what it seemed like their best shot coming out to make sure that they could have stayed in that game. They ended up coming back, taking the lead, and then it was just kind of back and forth for a while until the Warriors, I guess, ended up taking. I just kind of feel like a fish out of water here because I missed pretty much that entire second half. But
it's a good one, bro.
And everything. I'll probably go back at some point and rewatch at least the second half because I saw the first half and it was a clinic on defense. I mean, you want to show basketball camp or something like that of how defense is supposed to be played. You show them the Warriors film of that first half because Boston couldn't do a damn thing. The one thing I didn't like, and again now I'm going to start nitpicking, they are still leaving them open for too many threes. They went right back to that stupid zone. It doesn't make any sense to me. Play one-on-one, just man-to-man. Worry about the switches. Worry about the double teams. Leave the guys like a Marcus Smart who ended up getting hot a little bit there late. He couldn't hit a shot to save his life in the first half from what I saw.
I think that's the first game they've lost where Marcus Smart has scored over 18 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. Usually he puts up those points we lose.
It's also the first time Boston's lost back-to-back games. Let's make it 3 in a row come Thursday and just finish this.
7-1.
Win it in Boston, baby.
And when you're talking about like the second half too, so basically that third quarter, Cory, they came out and it felt like it was the fourth quarter of game one all over again. They hit I think it was 8 straight threes, guys, if I remember correctly. It was oh my God, they're unconscious. And exactly listen, Marcus, we're in a best of 3 series now. I understand if you're playing percentages, you might be okay with Marcus Smart taking threes. But at the end of the day, these are NBA players. You're in the NBA finals. You're trying to close out a championship. He's hitting threes. He's wide open. Just close out on him. Just close out. Trust your defense if he blows by you. I don't want to give guys wide open warm-up jumpers going into a closeout game in Boston coming up. I need to see that changed.
Get out of the zone defense. I mean, to me, that's the way that you take that away. They did that quite a bit, I think, in Game 4, from what I remember. They ended up kind of going away from the zone, playing a little bit more man-to-man. They weren't able to a lot more contested shots than, like you said, warm-up threes.
Simple.
But you look at a lot of, I'm pretty much just basing this off of stats. You end up getting out-rebounded, which hasn't happened much in the playoffs this year. The foul discrepancy was a joke. The free throw discrepancy was a joke. But you look at pretty much all the other stats. I mentioned earlier, they had 31 free throws, but they only made 21 of them. Right. There's the difference right there. Now, you don't expect a team to be perfect from the line, but 18 turnovers will do it. 18 to 6. 6 turnovers, you take that all day. And twice on Sunday. I'm telling you, it's one of those things that, to me, you are going to have a hell of a time And I think, Chris, you made the point. Anytime the Warriors are over 15, maybe 16 turnovers, they're in trouble.
Yeah. And same
It's
for
just-
Boston too. I think
And-
Boston's record, they showed it. I think when Boston's over 16, they're 2-13 or something like that. So it's really similar how bad these teams are after 16 turnovers. And also when you miss 10 free throws, it feels more like closer to like 25.
Uncontested shots from 15 feet away, and they miss 10 of them. Boston looked like they had the chance there in the second half after that big run, and they let. And again, I don't exactly know exactly what happened.
A 19-4 run.
19-4 run to come out. The Warriors couldn't shoot. They just looked flat. They looked essentially like they have been pretty much all in the first quarter of this entire series. They've been coming out flat in every single game. What I saw there, 22-7, 20, whatever the heck it was there to start the game, one of those things you have to be able to get out. And this is what I'm hoping that they can do come Thursday. I know we're going to probably get to this here before this podcast is over. Come out, blitz them early, get the crowd out of the game, and just play your game. Just play and have to exert all that energy to try to end up coming back like they did in the third quarter. My guess is that they were just gassed by the end, just missing a lot of shots and things like that. That would just be
That's
an
what it
assumption.
looked like.
But because they end up exerting so much energy down, I think it was 12, which isn't saying all that much with 24 minutes to play. But at the same time, the Warriors have to be able to play 48 minutes of basketball. We have yet to see that in a single game in this postseason. Yes, they've looked good for, say, 3 quarters, but then they let opponents come back in and all this stuff. But the Warriors are in a very good spot right now. They just have to keep the foot on the gas and just make sure that they don't allow Boston to be able to gasp for air. I just want this to just be a suffocating game. Boston, I'm sure, is going to be favored by 3 or 4 come Thursday. I want to blitz them and beat them by double digits again. Just make a statement. Just say, yeah. So
I'm going to show what Draymond Green said in the postgame real quick.
I got a question for after.
Actually, you know what? We'll do it this way. Oh, wait. No, not that way. No, this way. Oh, man. What am I doing, man? Okay, here we go.
All right, we'll start in the middle for Draymond.
Marcus Thompson, the Athletic. Draymond, did that feel like you out there on both ends of the court?
Yeah, I felt more like myself, just aggressive on both sides of the ball. I felt a little more like myself in Game 4 as well, after an atrocious Game 3. But, just got to continue to build, and I think tonight's a great start. Now looking forward to going into Game 6 with the same energy and effort.
Hey, Draymond, Cameron Buford, voice of the fans. Third quarter of this game, they won that third quarter. They came out and jumped on you guys. You got to flip that around in the fourth quarter. What happened in that fourth quarter that let you guys get that advantage back?
I think I think the way we responded in the third quarter was huge. And Jordan hitting that shot right before the clock expired was a great momentum boost for us. When a team goes on a run like they did, and it was more than a run, they pretty much dominated the entire third quarter. For us to still go into the fourth quarter with the lead, that's huge. And I think that was something that we could build on, and we did. And, coming out there in the fourth quarter, we were able to get stops. And we got out in transition, got a couple easy buckets. That was huge for us.
Malika.
Malika Andrews, ESPN. Hey, Draymond.
What's up, Malika?
Andrew Wiggins has been such a consistent presence for you all playoffs long, really. Can you just speak to at what point that trust began to build that he was the guy you would look for in those moments?
That trust has been building for 2.5 years now since he got here. A lot of people looked at the trade like, oh, it's another piece that they can move. And we looked at the trade from the very beginning like that is a guy who can fit next to a healthy group absolutely well. I think, when he first came here, and I'll never forget, it's when Tibbs wasn't with the Knicks. And Tibbs was like, you guys are going to love him. He competes, he defends, and he was telling us Jimmy loved him. And we all know how Jimmy Butler is. Like, you got any softness to you, Jimmy don't like you. That's just how Jimmy is cut. And he's continued to show that. He's continued to get better. He's taken on every challenge that we've thrown in front of him, and it's huge. And we need him to do that for one more win.
Mark Spears, ESPN's Landscape. Gary Payton II, you saw the injury. You saw the recovery. Just take me through what you saw from him, and are you shocked that he's doing what he's doing now?
I'm not shocked at all. I think, G is someone who works, and, he wouldn't be in this position if he didn't work the way that he does. And to see him bounce back from the injury like he did, it's like he just picked up right where he left off at, which is what he's done all year. He's defended. He's gotten putbacks. He comes up with loose balls. He's knocked his corner threes down. And, he's been absolutely huge. You're talking a guy who made this team as the 15th man and then became a key part of our rotation. So it's no surprise that he had the game that he had and that, he's had the impact on this series that, we all hoped that he would get back because we knew that he could have that impact.
Hi, Draymond. Janie McCauley from AP.
Janie.
Following up on Malika's question just about Wiggins, when did you see this determined grit and confidence on both ends just start to really reveal itself? I mean, that didn't happen right away.
Well, no, that didn't happen right away. I think he, started to fill it out, but coming into this year, he was an all-star starter for a reason. He defended very well. He scored the ball very well, and really just plugged right in. Like, it wasn't like, oh, you need to call a set for him every time. He's just kind of been getting it, and he's continued to do that. And I think the bigger the challenge has been that we've thrown in front of him, the better he's responded. And that's a guy like that. That's a guy. You want a guy like that. That when the stakes get big, they respond and they play their best basketball, and that's what he's been doing.
Last question for Draymond. Sam on the right.
Sam Amick, The Athletic. Dre, you've spent a lot of your career after wins talking about how amazing Steph is. Is it a different kind of satisfaction when it's a night like tonight? And especially after Game 4, you all talked about needing to help him.
No, I don't think there's a different type of satisfaction. A win is a win, whether Steph gets 43, 10, and 4, or whether he finishes with 16 on 7 for 22 shooting. A win is a win. And, obviously we have spoke about helping him, and I don't think he's been out there helpless. Like, that's the narrative. But everybody's doing their part. And, tonight, a night that he didn't have it going, we found offense elsewhere. And that's kind of what it's been. But in the same token, if he's got it going, we're going to be heavy Steph Curry. That's just what it is. So the whole notion of this guy doesn't, he doesn't have help. Well, he got 43. He's going to keep shooting. And we're going to keep doing all that we can to get him shooting. So it was huge. And, now that's good for us. He was 0 for 9 from 3. He's going to be livid going into Game 6. And that's exactly what we need.
Thanks, Draymond.
Ready? Can you hear us? 14 off the bench for Jordan Poole. He had 3 threes tonight on a night when you guys as a team were not good from three-point range. You just weren't knocking down shots collectively. What in your mind was the biggest difference tonight?
Just whenever I was given an opportunity to go out there and make a play. Offensively, defensively, to try to give our team a boost. And luckily I was able to do that tonight.
I don't get the sense that you're short on confidence generally, but you made a move, I think, in the second quarter where you shook somebody and hit a little step-back 3, and it felt to me like maybe the most confident move you've made in this series. Does that stand out for you, or is that just another play?
It was just another play. I mean, a good sign is I was able to hit a 3, try to get going early. And then in the second half, getting that opportunity just to kind of keep going later in the third and kind of give our team some momentum, but just being aggressive and trying to make shots and make plays for my teammates.
Can you tell us what you guys are doing defensively to disrupt Boston and also cause the number of turnovers that you forcing throughout the game? I mean, tonight they have 18 turnovers. What are you guys doing consistently to force those turnovers?
Playing with physicality, being able to play with physicality and being on the string and the backside. These guys are talented, and they do a really good job of attacking the basket. So being able to have our primary defenders press up a little bit, be physical, and being able to be connected on the backside and being in rotations and help play team defense has been huge.
Jordan, what is up with you in these end of quarter desperation shots? You were begging for the ball. Wiggins maybe a little bit late, but threw it to you. But in all seriousness, that was a big-time shot. It really kind of got the momentum back because they had a great third quarter, and you guys were able to keep the lead going into the fourth quarter and use that going into the fourth. But what is it? You just, in those situations, is it supreme confidence?
Every time.
Every time.
You kind of have to shoot it, and there's nothing to think about. And my teammates know that I want that ball in that position every time, whether it's in the shot clock, in the quarter. And Wiggs even told me, like, he was looking for me because I make shots like that all the time. But, just be ready for the moment, essentially, and step up. And I was able to hit a big one today.
Jordan, the last two games, the efficiency has been up for you. You've been playing a little bit better offensively. Is there anything that you saw specifically from a defensive standpoint that they were doing early in the series that you've made an adjustment to?
Nah, just being aggressive. Just being aggressive. Just going out there and looking for my shot, hunting shots, and trying to, I guess, play make for other people. And I know that they think that I'm a focal point and they try to pressure me a little bit. So just hunting for my shots, and my teammates are open, find them in a position to score.
Jordan, our guy Dennis Scott is outside, but he still can hear you and talk to you and ask you questions as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, Jordan, I talked to you a few days ago. Can you talk about how Steve Kerr has instilled more confidence in you when the ball's not going in, but you still have to play at a high level? Can you share with the fans how Steve Kerr has been so good for you?
Yeah, coach is giving me the keys to the offense, and just being able to go out there and play freely, play with joy. And, I'm a team-first player, and I want to win more than anything. So going out there and just making the right play. Luckily, that's allowing me to be aggressive and try to put the ball in the basket. But, just credit to my teammates, too. Everybody came out ready to play. Everybody was aggressive. And it's huge, when we're clicking on both sides of the ball.
You spoke earlier in the year about your relationship with Clay and also Steph, how, when you say coach is giving you the keys to the offense, but they've also, given you, the keys and a lot of confidence. Talk about how that's been for you and how important that is in the NBA Finals.
Yeah. Just the fact that they trust me to make it easy for them is huge. Being able to get Steph off the ball a little bit, allow him to move freely, get us some catch and shooting opportunities. And same thing for Clay is being aggressive and trying to put him in situations where he can just score the ball. And these two are tremendous shooters. And I'm able to learn under their tutelage. And
all right.
All righty.
Chris, quick question, Chris. How about that belly play?
Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started.
My friend texted me a few days ago, and he's like, "Send this video to your boy Chris. This is Bellinelli. This is Belitza, whatever his name is, playing defense."
Dude, I do not care what Tatum's numbers are either. I know that there was that stat about when Belly's guarding Tatum. Dude, there's no when I'm watching it, I'm like, there's no way Kuminga can't do this. Like that's like my thought is, I don't know that's where I get on Jason Tatum, because I don't know if I'm Jason Tatum, I'm thinking every time I see a Belitz out there, it's barbecue chicken every single time he's out there. Like, I would cook that dude all the time if he was
time.
That was my question.
You saw Marcus Smart took advantage of him this evening, and he didn't last long.
You mean Oscar the Grouch?
Here's a stat they brought out. Boston was 1 of 10 when Draymond Green contested shots tonight.
Wow. That's how you can tell Draymond came out on defense, man.
Still the best defender in the entire association.
He actually moved up.
I want an argument because you're not gonna have one.
Yeah,
he would have won Defensive Player of the Year running away if he hadn't gotten hurt.
Yep, I agree.
And the Warriors still would have had the number one in defensive efficiency if he hadn't gotten hurt. So he means everything to this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
And Curry and Draymond moved up in the stats list in the playoffs, and then Curry moved up past LeBron for most threes. Or no, was that Clay? I don't remember who it was.
It was Clay.
It's Clay.
It's Clay that
Well,
moved up.
the trio is now
The
standing
trio,
alone
yeah.
with the most wins in the finals over
Yeah.
now over the Spurs.
I sent you that graphic, Brandon. I don't know if you saw it.
But like Cory said last time, we need that number to be 21, not 20.
Yep.
Yes,
Well,
sir. We do.
You know
Sure do.
one stat though. So going into Game 6, so I remember the last time Steph Curry's 3-point streak ended. Do you guys remember? It was when he went like 0 for 10 in LA. It was KD's first year. Remember what he did the very next game?
128 games, and then he went off for 54 in the Garden.
No. So his 3-point streak ended in the 2016-2017 season. They went to play the Lakers, and it was like, oh my God, is this team not going to work out? Steph went 0 for 10.
He dropped like 50 or something.
He went 13 for 27 from 3 the next game against the Pelicans and broke the NBA record at the time. So should be a fun follow up to a 0 for night in terms of 3-point shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget about Game 6, Clay.
Game 6 Clay.
Yes.
I want it to be Game 6 Curry and Clay.
How about Game 6 Clay, Curry, and Poole?
I'll take any combination as long as
Yeah.
it results in
All
a
three of
W.
them.
Same.
Game
Come out
6
firing
Bielitsa.
and
No. Game 6 Kaminga.
Game 6 Moody. How about that? Jeez.
I would like for Clay to get it just because of all the crap he's taken from Boston fans to actually.
He was
Game 6 Draymond.
Speaking of that, Dave, Clay was actually trolling the Boston fans in the post game tonight. Let's see if I can find it.
Clay makes me
Curry.
nervous with that, man. I remember every time he trolls, like I just remember 2016 when he was saying like it's a man's league and they didn't win after that. It makes me nervous when Clay does that. I'm not gonna lie. Brings back memory.
I just want Curry to cement his MVP, man. So
yep.
I think he cemented it in Game 4.
Yeah,
that's a lot of
Game 4
people say.
locked it up. He could go out there, have a pedestrian night, and if they win, it's locked up. In fact, if the Warriors close it,
Now the
no one
NBA
else should
is.
get another vote. He should be the only one getting voted for that
Now
award.
the NBA is.
Like the unanimous MVP that he won.
Yeah,
20 years
because
ago.
as great as Wiggins has been, he should not even get a single vote if the Warriors closes out. There's no way.
The
would not even
Warriors
in this
won Game
situation.
4 because of Steph.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got it, Brandon?
No, not yet. But
Oh,
I do want to say let this sink in, everybody, that we are one more win away for our next chip.
Yep.
4 in the last 8.
I'm gonna be celebrating,
4 in
man.
the last 8, man.
Dynasty is still alive and kicking.
Yep.
Well, all I remember is when we lost to the Raptors, I had certain people message me on Facebook or comment on my Facebook post, and we were just going back and forth, back and forth. The Warriors are done. The Warriors are done. That's all I kept hearing was the Warriors are done. The Warriors are done. The Warriors are done. So this will feel really good if we get it.
People want to convince themselves the Warriors are done any chance they get. I mean, they were doing that this year.
I don't think the
Media was
Warriors are
trying
going to be
push that
done for
this
another
year.
10 years, to be honest with you.
Chris
Especially if
actually-
these guys pull out.
Yeah,
what
Chris
their
actually
potential.
tweeted out the perfect saying from the media itself. Mr. Stephen A. Smith has stuck with the Warriors and hasn't changed his mind
Since opening
yet.
night.
Since
Opening night, he picked them to win.
Okay.
Who
Everyone
was this?
else, though,
Oh,
Stephen A. Smith. Ever since opening night, he picked the Warriors to win the title. But everyone else, it feels like at that network, has just tried to bend over backwards to say why the Warriors' title window's over. I remember somebody, and I don't know her name, but she's been covering the finals too, and she was literally saying on national television that Klay Thompson would hopefully average 8 points a game when he comes back, and I thought that was hilarious.
I
Like it was the
remember.
most laughable take.
He averaged 20 for the season. You can put
Exactly.
that shit to bed.
I just remember when Clay
I
was
want to
coming
bet on
back.
that, by the way. I
I
want to bet on
remember
that.
when Clay was coming back. I just remember I remember Eddie Johnson, former Phoenix Suns, was one guy, but a whole bunch of other dudes were saying it too. I just can't remember the names. But when Klay Thompson comes back, don't expect him to be the same Klay Thompson. Don't expect him to. Well, hey, he's not too far from the guy he was before he got hurt. So.
Yeah. You'll get
I mean, and his defense has picked up too, and you saw that in the past 2 games as well.
As long as he's not facing anybody super fast defensively, he's fine.
Yeah.
Want me to read? No, never mind.
Just gonna show this real quick.
I'm just excited to build on it, and wow, just going to be. I've never been so excited to go to Boston. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, nobody's excited. Nobody's excited.
Oh man,
never
it's
been
just
so
bulletin
excited.
board material, man. It's just bulletin board material.
Oh,
It
shit,
goes,
man.
He's gonna
it
get all
goes
the
one of
boo
two
birds
ways.
now. All the boo birds.
It goes one of
Game
two ways.
6.
Like now game 6
stuff.
Clay has to show up and they have to win. Otherwise, if it goes to game 7, that clip is going to be replayed over and over again.
Well, they got to end it in Boston.
They have to.
Yeah,
end
you
it
don't
in
want
Boston.
to. You don't
shut
want to
everyone up.
entertain. You don't even want to entertain game 7. Like you got to treat game 6 like it is your game 7. You can, like that's the danger. Some teams they
Exactly.
go into game 6 up 3-2, thinking like they have game 7 in their back pocket. You do that, you pretty much mentally lost the series. So I know that Steph, Clay, and Draymond aren't going to think that way, but the other guys that are new to this scene, they have to be on that same page mentally. Because what I saw from the Celtics today, mentally they kind of collapsed, is what I saw. I mean, this back-to-back games, they have under 100.
Warriors 2016 finals, up 3-1. Beautiful.
So there's actually an
That
old
was my
tweet.
prediction actually in 6.
So there's an
I
old
said
tweet.
5, and it should have been 5. If Boston doesn't go crazy in the fourth quarter of game 1, this would have been wrapped up tonight.
I think, yeah, so it was like the 2015 finals or something. Jason Tatum actually tweeted like Warriors in 6, and now people keep resurfacing that old tweet.
Yep.
I had a question. I don't remember. Shit.
Dude, I mean, you even have Zach LaVine tweeting out Karl Anthony Towns about Wiggins tonight. I mean, shit, Minnesota thought he was a bust, and look at him now.
Oh yeah, how good does that trade look, huh?
Right?
We got rid of that one dude from the Lakers. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, and we got Kuminga out of the trade too.
That's right, the draft pick.
Yep.
That was like taking
I'm always
candy
gonna
from a
mention-
baby.
I am
gonna
so
mention
glad I
Kuminga.
was wrong about that.
What did you think of Iggy's play?
Oh wait, really quick, Dave, you were mad that we traded D'Angelo Russell?
No, I wasn't mad about that. I thought Wiggins was going to be a trade piece when he came over.
It felt like it in the beginning.
I did not expect this Wiggins to ever materialize.
Yeah.
I think from Iguodala, I feel like he wouldn't have even played that much, like not even close, if Looney didn't get into foul trouble.
That's
So
true.
I don't know. I don't even
He
think
got
he
into
was
foul
he's gonna get
trouble
minutes
quick.
Yeah. The illegal screen. He didn't need to have that shove. Like, I think Jason Tatum was probably going to fall out of bounds anyways. I don't think he needed to give him that little push that he did. So, I don't know. But that seems like an issue, though, is their foul trouble the whole series. Because Draymond fouled out tonight again.
Third time.
That's one thing that kind of goes underneath the rug.
And it was a sorry-ass foul.
Yeah.
Fouled out on.
So who should
I didn't even see that as a foul.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Brandon?
Go ahead, Jordan.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. We got to play.
Play Too Short and Mr. Fab real quick.
So win in Boston for the disrespect at the fifth. I was in Boston game 3 and 4. I went to both games. The disrespect is through the roof. I've never saw it in my life. It was crazy. But to be out there, to be able to say, if we can go back there and just silence them, to win in the Garden, this Warriors team, everything that we've been through, the resilience that we've shown, the rejuvenation of the spirit, of the energy, the backlash that Draymond has shown just because he may not have been offensively effective. A lot of people don't understand the other things that he does to affect the basketball game. That man needs to deserve his roses. I don't care about all the Draymond slander. Draymond is a champion, and he deserves everything that he's getting for him being out there. The credit, hey man, I love you, little bro. Continue to keep playing the ball that you playing, because without you, there's no way that this Warriors team will be here. So win.
Check out Mr. Fab.
Too
Nice speech
cheesy.
there. That pumps me up.
Fabby Davis Jr. from the hyphy era.
You guys all hear Daryl the Guru Johnson's like preach Friday before they went off air?
What did he say?
Oh, it was like it's almost like the Hunter Pence preacher type stuff back in 2012. Ray, if you can find the audio for that somehow, Daryl the Guru Johnson's preach Friday Remember, this is before Game 4. And they're just like, just go out and just play your hardest, even if we don't win. It's just that he's essentially just saying, I want max effort. Win or lose, you just you go out with your head high and I mean, he was literally crying, losing his voice. It was
Was it on 95.7 the game?
95.7 the game. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
He actually came on one of our spaces on Twitter one time. He chimed in.
Yeah,
for
he
a few
did.
minutes, yeah.
So
We had Dan Dibley in a space like yesterday.
Oh, I seen Dibley on there.
Nice.
It was me and like 4 other people, and somebody else was hosting. And we just had this big discussion. And Dibley was there for like half an hour, but he wasn't saying nothing.
Yeah, we were talking about, because there was a debate breaking out the last few days because of Game 4, like who is the greatest Barry athlete of all time, and the argument was a lot of people were talking Joe Montana, Steph Curry. So he chimed in and he was saying like Steph's the one.
So for Game 6, who starts? Since we keep getting different lineups.
I think they're gonna roll out the same lineup they did today.
I'd rather have the regular lineup. Their regular lineup. I don't get why they're starting Otto Porter Jr. I don't understand why.
Because he's not producing an offensive threat either. So at what point does it really matter?
And it flows better offensively when you don't have Draymond and Looney starting.
So do you think they start Poole and just trying to end it?
I don't think they will. I would want to, but the thing is, for me with Otto Porter, even if it's like, we could say it's flowing, but it's not really doing anything. That's why if we really want it to flow and be productive at the same time, I'd rather just start Poole, because at the end of the day, he's not going to, like, of course they're going to try to attack like Jordan Poole and Steph Curry when it comes to them playing defense. But even that, when it comes to crunch time, they're not even taking advantage of it. This is the second game in a row where I'm seeing Steph Curry with Jason Tatum one-on-one, and he's not taking advantage of it. And I don't know how you could do that. Like, if I'm Jason Tatum, I'm backing down in the post. I'm taking him straight to the basket. What's up, Rohan?
What up, Rohan?
What's going on, brother?
Yes, sir. Priya says the Warriors would win.
Really went out on a limb on that one there, didn't you, Priya?
Dave Portnoy, the guy he's mentioning, that's the Barstool Sports pizza review guy. One bite, everybody knows rules. It pissed me off when he got in Draymond's face that one time. And he's like, "That's 2 fouls. That's 2 fouls." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
It's actually really perfectly funny. If you look at a picture of Steph Curry in his post-game interview after Game 4, you can see David's face in the back, just in the stands, just completely just perplexed at what just happened. It's really funny.
If you watch Boston's coverage, they have the NBC Sports Channel there. They were all flabbergasted. Eddie House.
Is that tonight or was that from Game 4?
No, that was from Friday night.
Oh.
They were all flabbergasted as to what they saw, including Kendrick Perkins.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Did Kendrick Perkins have anything to say today?
Yeah,
he did.
I have it right here.
But real quick,
he said that damn culture of the Warriors will definitely bring the best out of any player. That brother Wiggins is the perfect example. Carry the hell on.
All right. Caption this picture. Dave, go.
Oh, you want me to caption this?
Yes.
My boys came through.
Okay. Chris, go.
You see, I don't really know how to caption this, but I'm gonna keep it real. When Steph Curry does this is the psychopath in him a little bit. This is the face of he's about to drop 35 in Game 6 because he just played really bad.
That picture is Boston.
There's actually there's a picture in every series so far of Steph smiling when like things are going bad, and every time after that they turn it around or he goes off. So that's a dangerous look for Boston. I'm not gonna lie.
Boston ain't ready.
Bashar, go.
He's like, "Whoa, I didn't have to carry the team tonight."
Cory, go.
Looks right at Boston and says, "Your move. Check."
Checkmate.
Not
Jordan,
checkmate yet. Soon.
What about you, Brandon?
I'm gonna say, Boston. Be ready for Game 6, Curry.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the playoffs, you rarely see Steph have back-to-back really bad games. So
yeah,
picking pops and pick and rolls and
no more zone
screens
defense.
up.
Well, it's funny. I saw somebody tweet earlier today before the game started. Oh, Boston's gonna win by 16, right? And then
for which game?
For tonight's game.
Nice.
Oh.
And then they go and respond, "Oh, Boston hasn't lost back-to-back games." So then I tweeted back after the game. I'm like, "What were you saying?"
Do you do they not realize that the Warriors have yet to lose back-to-back games this postseason too?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so I mean, they haven't had as many, games that they lost in the postseason because they haven't seen 2 Game 7s.
Mhm.
But what's the angle there? We're not going to lose because we haven't lost back-to-back games all postseason. The Warriors had they had the one loss at home, which was Game 1 because they ended up going 15-23 in the fourth quarter. They don't get anywhere close to red hot. We're planning a parade by the middle of the week.
Yep, first
He
quarter.
also hadn't faced champions before either.
Exactly.
No. Miami's soft. Milwaukee. Well, no, they took out Milwaukee, who just won the championship last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not entirely true.
By the way, with Milwaukee, I don't ever want to try to discredit when a team beats another team when someone was injured because it just becomes an endless loophole of you can put an asterisk on every series.
Chris Middleton.
But did you guys know that? So I don't know now, but coming into this game, Jason Tatum was averaging less points as the best player on the Celtics than Chris Middleton did last year in the finals as a second option.
That's crazy.
It's averaging 2 less points. Middleton last year averaged 24 as a second option. Jason Tatum coming into this game was averaging 22.
What did Curry's stat line drop to? I know what did he have? 16. What did that
16
average?
Probably 32. Maybe 32 or something.
That's still good.
The 49% from 3, I knew at some point had to come down to earth.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, you're talking about close to a 50-50-90 split almost is what he was looking at.
Jordan Poole had 50% 3-pointers tonight. That was good.
Yeah, I was.
I'd rather see Tatum than Giannis, so whatever.
He's averaging now 27.1 a game.
But like Super Dave said earlier, and it seems like Jaylen Brown has been the more aggressive, feared player, more so than Tatum in the series,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It almost feels like Jaylen Brown might be more elite in his role as a second option than Jason Tatum is as a primary option sometimes.
Well, just kidding.
So the priest said in Boston Twitter Spaces, it's more the refs are cheating than Tatum Brown being shut down all finals.
They got to the line way more. They got to the line way more than we did.
Tatum and Brown have not been shut down the entire finals.
Yeah, he's been really good.
Whatever Priest is talking about is complete incorrect.
I was thinking if Boston won, Jaylen Brown would be the Finals MVP.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think Jason Tatum even enters the conversation for MVP at this point.
Yeah, coming into today, Steph's points per game were higher than Jason Tatum's field goal percentage.
Hey, so Tatum tweeted out back in 2012, Jabari Parker is better than Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's resurfacing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I just seen it.
Oh shit, man! You gotta love it. You gotta love it, man. Honestly, you gotta love it.
Ari Parker.
He might have been something had he not messed up his ankles.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear what Steph had to say on the backstory of his shirt?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Curry. One is about your T-shirt. I can read the final part.
Aisha Curry can cook.
Can you tell me the backstory?
Oh, yeah. You got to ask around the room and ask Twitter. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
That's Boston.
One is about your T-shirt. I can read the final part.
He didn't explain it though. He just said go to Twitter.
I know. Just basically go to Twitter.
I remember
I actually saw some signs like that in Game 4.
Yeah, so like she can't cook or something.
Boston had a sign and it said Aish can't cook. So
yeah,
They had another one that said Deuce Tatum is greater than Riley Curry. They're talking about
wow.
No, we don't want a LeBron.
Hey, so yeah, we'll make it
I
simple.
would love LeBron, man.
No,
I'm not gonna
I don't want
front.
LeBron. No,
I'm not gonna front. I would take that. I would take 2 years of LeBron over just about anything else. I mean, oh man.
No,
I get why. I get it. But
LeBron with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. But I would like to play LeBron next year. I would like to get Steph Curry versus LeBron one more
Is that
time.
Mr.
What up,
Trey
Shay? That's
Area
Shay Lewis.
himself?
That's Trey Ayers. Shay Lewis. I had him on my show
What's
once.
going on, Shay?
Shay.
He's a big
Nice.
Warriors fan.
Where would LeBron have to be traded to for that to be possible?
That means you're losing Klay Thompson.
Draymond.
You know what's funny? Did you see what LeBron said? He said something like, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'd love to play with the Warriors and play with a guy like Draymond Green. I'd love to have somebody cussing in my face or something like that." It's like, dude, you couldn't handle Draymond cussing at you in that 2016 NBA Finals. You had to complain to Adam Silver about it and said, "Oh, he said this about me. He said that about me."
I think it's because he's constantly sometimes got a soft teammate like Kevin Love. You know what I mean? Like those years in the Cavs. Like I think that's what he's talking about. But Shea, Bofa. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
He knows what
Since
that means.
2016, didn't Draymond sign on with LeBron's managing group?
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, the Dubs are wearing the blue uniforms. Game 6.
The Philadelphia ones, the Philadelphia looking ones.
I hate them.
The blue and the
I
red.
love those.
You don't like
I love
the
those.
regular ones?
I like it at home, not so much on the road. I like it at home.
They need to go
because
back
of
to
way
the
they
old
changed it.
crossover jerseys that they wore back in the Run TMC days. They got to bring the retros back.
I want.
Those were
I
the
would
best
actually
uniforms
like
the
to
Warriors
see
ever
them
wore.
wear the oak tree uniforms.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
old
that-
ones that said Warriors across the chest.
Yeah.
That's
Or-
that's the
or-
best Warriors jersey they ever
You mean
wore.
during the Thunder mascot era? That
No,
jersey?
before
Oh
that.
God, no!
You mean
No.
the one, the Chris
that up.
Mullin one?
The one in your logo that just said Warriors across the chest. You look at the other logo, not the Thunder logo that you
The
had.
one, yeah,
yeah,
that was during Chris
The
Mullin. That
old
was during
school one.
Chris Mullin and
Run
Tim,
TMC.
Chris Mullin and Tim
I would
Hardaway.
like
Yeah.
to see that.
That's
All right,
right.
so
That
game
was,
six.
they
I want
did
to see the
it.
blue
They did
ones.
it. They did
did
it
it-
1 year,
They did it
and
once.
then they went away from it. They need to
I
go
wanna-
back. To
They did
those.
like a modern version of it.
Don't
right.
bring back Thunder.
Game 6. Who's
No,
the
not
other
Thunder.
actor?
The old Run
Hey,
TMC
hey,
jerseys.
don't hate on
Say,
Thunder.
Bring back Thunder.
Come
All
on,
right,
man,
R.I.P.
no.
Thunder. By the way, he passed
No.
away. The guy who was the mascot. So hopefully
Right.
we win this for him.
Hey, real quick. I like the Oakland ones that they brought last year,
Yeah.
and then I like the ones they had this year, the blue and red.
I like the city
ones.
ones.
I still like the black jersey, the one that they wore for game for this year. The ones that they wore for game was that game 4.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah, it
best
was game
uniforms
4.
this year.
I like the town.
But I
jerseys,
like the
too.
old
Yeah, towns are
Warriors
nice.
Run TMC before they renovated. When it was
Game,
still the
game 6. Who's
arena
the
in
X
Oakland.
Factor?
I have one of
my
those
favorite
jerseys, Cory.
jersey is-
I have one like that.
My favorite
Hardaway.
jersey is the one they win in. So
I also like the
Yes, the city one.
the city one. There you go.
The
That's a
city
classic.
one.
The city.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
I love that one.
I like the
I
old
have
red.
that.
Oh yeah, you guys remember the sleeve black jerseys?
Slate
I remember the
jerseys.
sleeve ones.
Saturday,
Yeah,
Saturday
yeah,
night.
yeah.
Didn't like-
Saturday
didn't-
nights.
Didn't like those either.
For sleeve,
like
as
those either.
for the way
No.
sleeve jerseys go, I like the slate jerseys. If
Yeah,
we had
me
to,
too.
the ones I
For the
didn't
sleeve
like,
jerseys, yes, but I don't
Re-
like the full.
yeah. Remember the year before they had like the yellow sleeve jerseys?
Yep.
Remember that? I
Those were
I did
goddamn-
not like
those
those.
were
Yeah,
terrible.
Slate
there's
jerseys
a
Bring
were
back the old Run TMC before they renovated back in '96, or sorry, '97. '97 they renovated and they played their home games in San Jose at the Shark
Yeah.
Tank.
When they had Joe Smith, that bust.
Yeah, Joe Smith, Chris Webber, all of that. But yeah,
Yeah.
the old retro, the one that you have behind you on your left, that was the best jerseys I think the Warriors ever wore, and they should go back and stick to old ones. The blue Philadelphia, I've never liked it. There's no red with the Warriors. Why is there red? I mean, come on,
Because when they were in San Francisco, that was their colors earlier before they moved.
Yeah, they had transitioned from Philadelphia over to San Francisco. Yeah, I don't know. The Run DMC jerseys.
I feel like they have some signature games when they wear those jerseys, though.
Yeah.
Like remember this year when Steph Curry dropped 50 on the Clippers?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was that game too, right?
He broke the record, the 3-point record in those jerseys. Also.
Yeah, they have signature moments in those jerseys. I don't know. Like remember that Clippers game? I'm pretty sure was the picture when Steph took a shot and was pointing back at a fan while the ball was in the air. That was like one of the coldest photos I've ever seen in the entire sport.
All right, Brandon.
What?
Game 6. Who's the X factor?
It's gonna be Steph Curry. I think Steph goes. These are the jerseys I like.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
Only at home because he changed the whole court.
Yeah. Same.
It works better.
Same. Yeah.
Bashar, who's the X factor? You hear?
Bash.
What's up?
Who's the X factor in Game 6?
X factor Game 6. Maybe Looney. Maybe Looney just grabbing boards and boxing people out and him getting his full playing time. I don't like seeing his playing time limited. How many minutes did he have tonight? I'm checking right. 16 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's increase that to 25. Have Looney out there for the long haul, and let's get that W.
Super Dave.
What's up, D-Sizzle?
What's up, Sizzle?
D-Sizzle!
I'm going to go with Game 6 Clay.
Cory.
Draymond Green.
Okay.
I like Draymond here. I think he makes a statement somewhere around maybe 11, 12 rebounds. I'd like to see him maybe with a couple block shots there. I'd like to see him get back to that 10 points. He was close, but he just kind of fizzled out. And try to keep the fouls to a minimum where he can actually stay on the floor for the entirety of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Chris.
Game 6, Bielitsa. He's going to put together a quality 4 minutes and 15 seconds of 0 points and maybe 1 rebound. And
I say 2 rebounds.
Hopefully not be -9.
He'll hit a clutch 3 to ice it, right?
He'll end the game.
I want a GP2 dunk and a Kuminga dunk, just somewhere in between.
I want to see. You know what I want to see? I want to see it. And GP almost got Robert Williams there in the first half. I did see that. He almost blocked.
Yeah.
I want to see a crazy block and a crazy poster on a Robert Williams or a Jason Tatum or something.
I think the X factor is going to be. I think the X factor is going to be Clay, just because I don't think Steph's going to shoot that badly again, regardless of what defense they're seeing. So if Steph has a bounce back game and Clay is Game 6 Clay,
it's a
with
wrap.
Draymond being more engaged and the way Wiggins has been rebounding, I think that could close it out.
Yeah,
you want to look? What did they? I want to check this real quick. What did they?
2015, 2016, Draymond Green, where he was averaging 14 points a game.
47% or higher collectively.
Oh, really?
Boston's done.
Oh.
They shoot anywhere around 50% from the field. Boston is finished.
Hey, I don't
care how good they shoot. They are going to be done if they don't. You know, we keep hearing about how great Boston's defense is. That's at least the second, if not third, game that Boston has yet to score 100 points. Who has the better defense? I mean, come on now, stop it.
There you go, Cory.
When the Warriors are at full strength, there's no team on the planet better than us on the defensive side of the ball.
Agreed.
Period. Warriors, again, would have had the #1 defensive efficiency team if Draymond had not missed those 20 whatever games he missed.
Well, I'm going to say Andrew Wiggins gets another poster dunk on somebody.
Robert Williams III, if he can last that long.
I want him to do a poster dunk over Oscar the Grouch, Marcus Smart.
Yeah. If he does get it over Williams, that'll just kill the soul of the Celtics.
I love
Williams is an amazing shot blocker,
though.
It's pissing me off.
You know one guy who could probably do that, though, other than Wiggins?
GP2.
GP2.
Kuminga.
Kuminga!
He has tremendous hops.
So does
Not the elite
GP2
though.
at 6.
Fucking Belly.
6
Belly can
feet.
do that too, man.
Yeah, Belly
Chris
can barely
Mullin.
get off the ground. I don't know.
Okay. So before we end it here, what are your keys to Game 6? I'll go with you first, Jordan.
They got to come out hot like this game right here. If they come out hot, they're not going to lose. I mean, that's just simple. They can't keep playing zone defense. They just got to play man to man. I think they should start Curry, Poole, and Clay because I think they should just try to end it. And Draymond's got to be, like I said, the 2015, 2016 Draymond, where he was scoring 14 points per game, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks. That's the Draymond we need, but he can't foul out either. I don't know. There's just play Warrior basketball.
Bashar, go.
Sorry, I missed the question.
What are your keys to Game 6?
I'll just stick to it. I think Looney's the key. Again, I'm going to mention it again. I just want Looney out there for 25 plus minutes. He's been gobbling up rebounds all throughout the playoffs. He's been rebounding better in this whole playoff run than he has in the regular season. And Wiggins has as well. Those two guys have just been hitting the boards, crashing the boards. And if Draymond can give them some help like he did today, he helped out everybody on the boards. And yeah, I definitely want that rebounding edge in this next game. We get the rebounds, we win.
Chris?
This is Game 7 mentally. You have to go into it with that mentality. Like that fourth quarter defensive effort that they had from top to bottom, no matter who came in the game, who came out the game. You need to start the game like that, and it's got to be consistent. You do that, the offense will, you're going to get the points somehow. But if you come out with that defensive intensity, the difference in the third quarter today was Boston and Jason Tatum looked way too comfortable getting to their spots, doing whatever they wanted to do, whereas in the fourth quarter, it felt like every possession for the Celtics was the most difficult possession possible. And if you can just make it uncomfortable and make it difficult from the very beginning, you can have them on their heels to the point where, when you're scoring on a team, it can obviously wear another team down mentally. But I feel like when you're getting stop after stop after stop and they don't see anything fall and you're grabbing every rebound, that takes their heart out of it. And if you can do that, it's going to take all the energy out of the building. And you got to go into that game just like the way they went into this fourth quarter of this game tonight.
Dave?
And he pretty much took what I was going to say. Even just contesting them, making them work, forcing the early turnovers, showing their inexperience. If you can do that for 4 quarters, you'll take the fans out of it, you'll kill the will of the team, and it'll be smooth sailing.
Cory?
The long and the short of it is Boston has their backs against the wall. You come out early like you did tonight, give them a good right hook, drop them, step on their throat, and suffocate them. I'm trying to hold back a little bit here.
He's going to say something else.
Yeah, I was going to say something.
Cory.
No,
Get him very close.
Don't hold back.
It's okay.
Get very close to the Detroit Lions opening presser.
Contest the outside shots here, and we just need to run. We need to get that pace back to Warriors pace instead of just lugging the ball up. Obviously, when Boston has a made basket, it's hard to get out in transition, but just work your pace, get Boston tired, get Boston into foul trouble to give Udoka no other option. Where they're going to have to use Pritchard for 20 some odd minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, where he's not used to. You're looking at just hitting the open shot, ball movement, get Boston's defense as confused as possible, and just punch them right in the mouth over and over and over again until they just give up. I would love to see Udoka have to end up pulling pulling everything and essentially conceding by by the start of the fourth quarter. That's essentially what I would love to see.
Yes.
Realistically, 6 minutes left. Knock them on their ass and don't let them get back up to try to throw another counter punch at you. Get Clay, Curry, and somebody else, maybe Wiggins, to drop 80-something points, maybe 90 points combined, and just send Boston on their merry way, and we'll tell them that we'll see them next season. We are the better team. We have been the better team. The Warriors will lock you down on defense. Enough of this zone, like what Jordan had just mentioned. Get back into that man-to-man, the switches, whatever, and get out and run. Like I said, the magic number here is 47% shooting. Get those balls into the basket and force Udoka to end up using like 4 or 5 timeouts in the first half because he doesn't want to have this game get out of hand too early. The Warriors are the better team. We have to go into a hostile environment and prove to them why we're the best team in the association.
Wiggins,
sure,
he scored 26 tonight, and he went 0 for 6 from 3.
Oh wow!
Take everything to the paint.
If those start dropping, they're in
the
trouble.
three doesn't stop dropping. It's over.
Let's put it this way: if the threes aren't working like they weren't working in Game 4, especially, go to the paint because they have been going to the paint and scoring all playoffs. So it's not like they haven't been struggling in that area. So you can't find one way to get points. Find another.
All right, so let me read Brian Windhorst. Let me read what he said. He said they have a $340 million payroll. You just don't have to beat the Warriors on the court. You got to beat their checkbook. This was a checkbook win for the Warriors.
What's he talking about? He's acting like we just went out and signed all these free agents or something.
Yeah, he used to cover the Cavs, man. I don't take anything Windhorst says seriously. But actually, listen. So Wiggins, I'm actually looking now because I was curious. Because Wiggins has been pretty consistent. So in his last 18 threes, he's 3 for 18. At some point, that's going to drop. So
that one guy, Brian Windhorst, is he the same guy who's covered LeBron since he was in high school?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my friend can tell me about him. Who cares?
Yeah.
He was the one who complained about Riley Curry being at the press conferences back in like 20.
Yeah, when Riley was there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. D Sizzle said, "Who are the refs the next game? Does anybody know?"
I guarantee it's going to be Scott Foster. I put money on it.
Who was the crew? Who was the crew this game though? This past game, do you guys know?
No.
Let's look it up.
I don't know, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and they got to the line way more than we did, but we still.
We all know
won,
Scott Foster though. That's all we know.
I guarantee you it's going to be Scott Foster. Just watch.
Oh God,
probably will.
His name.
He just officiated Game 3, so
okay. I'll tell
I
you.
think there's enough. I think there's enough games in between where that could be a possibility. But remember, I remember reading this before Game 3 started. Boston doesn't like Scott Foster either. I know.
Officials were Mark Davis, Tony Brothers, and Josh.
Yeah.
There you go.
They generally don't announce I would say the day of or maybe the evening prior. We'll know, or we can figure out who it's going to be.
We'll probably know.
According to this, it'll be 6 a.m. our time, 9 a.m. Eastern time, where they're posted.
Tomorrow?
No, each
Thursday?
game day.
Oh, each game day, right? So in the morning of Thursday, we'll know.
Thursday morning, yeah.
Right. So I believe media day is what? Probably Wednesday then.
Yes.
So Jordan, make sure
I
you
know.
hop on that shit. Thank you, appreciate it. So we'll probably know by that day, even. I think. But
Who
we'll
knows?
see. People keep saying it's going to go to 7 games, but I still doubt that.
Depends.
Just depends on how well Golden State plays and if they can the turnovers. I mean, just force Boston into mistake after mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to get that crowd even rowdier and
the first quarter goes.
First quarter's one thing, but you saw They obliterated them in the first quarter. They should have been up by 20 instead of the 16. And Boston still came all the way back and actually took the lead in the third quarter. So
I do.
First quarter is important, but it's not everything.
I do
They
want
got
to
to
point
come
out
out early though.
I think the Celtics, if we look at how much space they've been giving Steph the first 4 games, I think that they were actually banking on saying we're going to make Steph Curry beat us himself and take out the whole supporting cast to kind of eliminate the depth. Then I think after game 4, they switched that up today. And even though Steph shot terribly, because of the space that creates, and it means that they're using Steph more off the ball because of the way he's just being blitzed as soon as he gets the ball inbounded. He had the second highest plus minus today still, even after all that struggle. It was plus 15.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how did Boston enjoy that game 4, leaving Steph open? Didn't work out too well.
So
they said
they're going to
they
pick
said
their
that-
poison.
Yeah,
That's
they
what you
said
have to
that
do
they
with this
weren't
team.
going-
Period. If
Yeah,
Steph isn't going off, then it's Andrew Wiggins. If Andrew Wiggins isn't going off, it's Klay Thompson. If Klay Thompson isn't going off, maybe it's Jordan Poole. Maybe it's Gary Payton II. The Warriors are so deep, it's almost silly. And then on top of it, they have an elite defense that can lock you down at any given time. It's an almost impossibility to be able to beat this team 4 out of 7 times. Now, they can do it, but you generally are going to need like a catastrophic injury or something that just happens that, goes in their favor, like game 1 where they ended up shooting the lights out in the fourth quarter that saved them. Warriors should have won both those games at home to start the series. But it didn't quite happen. So get out early and just keep the foot on the throat and just don't let them gas for air.
Right.
Keep that double-digit lead as long as you possibly can, because I think it's doable. I really do.
Yeah.
You get out like you did today. You stop making silly mistakes. 6 turnovers. Probably won't see that again. But if you do, they're lifting the Larry O'Brien out in very close to where the Hall of Fame for the association is. So that would be bittersweet to do it right in front of their home fans.
Yep.
That'd be nice to piss off the Boston fans like that, us holding the trophy. And as much as I want to see the Warriors fans celebrate, I don't want it to go to Game 7 though. But sure, it'd be great to have it in front of the Warriors fans.
Warriors fans will be celebrating. That's all. I mean,
right?
That's for sure.
I mean, dude, you see the watch party.
Do it on the
parquet, parquet floor.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Finish it.
Yep.
Finish him.
Reality.
How well does Boston face adversity for the 3rd straight series?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question that they're going to have to ask themselves. How can we possibly do this a 3rd straight series, force a Game 7 and win? Because if you look at the series against Milwaukee, if you look at the series against Miami, that's exactly what happened. I think they were down 3-2 to Milwaukee as well. They had to force a Game 7 by winning Game 6, and then that one was at home. Miami was on the road.
Miami actually won. Miami actually won Game 6.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
So they weren't able to close it out against Miami at home, and they had to go on the road and end up taking care of it. Boston, we're not Miami. We're not Miami. We're a hell of a lot better. And if we were Miami would have ended up beating you in that series, this series would have been long gone either tonight or on last Sunday. So you better bring your absolute A game and hope and pray that the Warriors aren't shooting the lights out, because this could be a long Thursday evening for you.
So before we end it, I'm going to go over the formalities real quick. For whoever's still here, go over to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet already. Hit that like, subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Still trying to grow here. If you haven't gone over to our Twitter page yet, it's at GSW _ podcast. Instagram, locked in GSW podcast all the way out. We also have a Twitch page, twitch.tv / locked in GSW podcast. And we're also on Facebook as well, locked in GSW podcast. We're about to end it here right now, but before we head out, I'm going to get Bashar, Chris, Dave, and Cory the floor to give out their social media So go ahead, you guys.
Okay. Oh yeah, just at 49er Minded on Twitter at 49er Minded. On Instagram, just type 49er Minded, you'll find me. There's a Facebook group called 49er Minded, obviously the YouTube channel, and we're doing this Warrior stuff, but I kind of put the 49er stuff on hold, but there's gonna be a whole bunch of 49er shows upcoming in the works. Some returning guests, some new guests, and some other new stuff that you'll see when we get started again.
Same here. Twitter handle Mr. Edmondson, IG Mr. Edmondson 30. You can see me tomorrow on Real Talk Niner Talk. And we'll be bringing up content every Wednesday, 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern, up until the season starts.
Yes,
Now, is that tomorrow or is that Wednesday?
That is Wednesday.
So it's not.
I'm already in Tuesday mode.
Yeah. We're not at midnight yet. We're almost there. One more hour.
Yeah. My Twitter is just my display name right here. So it's Chris Polo _. My link tree is there too. So you can get to my YouTube channel, The Polo Show. It's my podcast covering various sports. So obviously going to be doing a lot of Niner stuff too coming up, like Bashar was saying himself. I'm also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. So if you just go to my Twitter, you'll see the link tree has the links to all those. I try to put everything on YouTube, whereas I may not put as much on those other platforms just because it's only audio. But I'm also jumping on other people's stuff. Like I've been jumping on with Niner Nate recently. I'll probably jump on them tomorrow night to talk about going into Game 6 of the finals. So, you can find me there.
You can find me on Twitter at sport_fanatic and the number 10. I don't just base my knowledge with basketball or football, baseball, or even hockey. Stanley Cup final starts on Wednesday, Tampa Bay and Colorado. Anything you want to talk about, we got the U.S. Open for golf starting this week out in Brookline, Massachusetts. We have World Cup coming in November and in Qatar. We know the United States will have Iran, England, and now we know that it will be Wales as their first matchup, I believe, November 21st. So any type of sport question or conversation you'd like to have, just hit me up at sport_fanatic and the number 10.
The sports fanatic, Cory.
Yes, sir. Also, if you guys want the audio portion of this podcast, just spell our name, Locked In GSW Podcast. We are also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Anything else?
Spotify.
SoundCloud.
Spotify,
So
right?
any podcast audio that you listen to, we're all on that platform.
Brandon, you should have a little piece of paper that has all the platforms that you have, so you don't keep forgetting.
Honestly, there's so many.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you need to get a pen and paper and start writing.
He could put it on the bottom of the screen or something. That'd be easier.
Well, that's true.
Shout out to our followers and our new subscribers. Thank you guys.
And I keep trying to bring more in here for you guys as well.
Thank you guys too. Yes.
Thanks for joining us all the time, guys. We really appreciate it. We started this thing out last year, trying to do our best, even though the Warriors were sucking at the time. But now we've for sure improved 100%, especially with the help of you
You're
guys.
building an empire here, no pun intended.
Yes. Yeah. So
wait for next
also. I also have a 49er podcast as well. If you guys haven't yet, go check out Fair Faithful Podcast. That's my channel, along with my co-host Christian Dyer, and we see Deion Johnson on there all the time too. So go check that out as well. Super Dave, I'm gonna have you on one time too.
Cool.
I'm sitting right here.
And all you guys, of course. I mean, I had you on already once.
There's enough room for everybody.
But don't worry, we're gonna have everybody.
For the Niners? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Everyone here.
We did the schedule. That's right. Yes, we did.
Me,
yeah.
See, you did.
Jordan's a one-trick pony up here.
Yeah, Jordan's
basketball.
Likes the Raiders.
And he's a Raider fan, so they can't all be winners.
My sincere apologies.
Stay in one city for more than 2 decades, then we can talk.
Yeah.
Oh, below the belt.
No,
it's not below the belt. It's just fact.
I agree. I want them to stay in Oakland, but Whatever.
Oh, Oakland didn't
Actually, it was 24 years in Oakland the first time. Came in 60, left in 84, came back in 92 or 93, and off to Sin City. I think they're going to be in Vegas for a while, but we'll see.
For sure.
You think they would?
How about the Niner Raider game? You guys going?
No.
So I'm going to be in
pay
Vegas.
$1,000 for my ticket.
New Year's Eve in Vegas already, and then
We got a lot of Niner content creators that rented out a bar.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be in Vegas with a lot of different people. Because I was thinking about, we were all thinking like, wait, it does not make sense to pay like $1,000 for tickets. We're all gonna be scattered around. Let's just go rent out a whole bar. We already got a place.
I saw that. I got the invite for that.
Oh,
I got
man.
the invite for that.
So I'm gonna be out there.
Nice.
I totally do it, but the fact that it's on New Year's just kind of gets in the way. I don't know what's going
I've
on.
been in Vegas on New Year's trying to get back.
Yeah, that's the
to
crazy
Southern
part.
California, it's a mess.
Exactly. Being in Vegas in general is a mess for New Year's because they jack up all the hotel prices.
Yeah, tickets for the plane too is ridiculous as well. So,
Yes, sir.
Looks like a 9-hour drive for us there, Brandon.
Oh, for real.
It's about 3.5 for me. So
It'll be 5
that's
for me.
nice.
Close. It'll be 5 for me.
Yeah. But anyways, we're getting off topic here. So anyways, hit that like, subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. Really appreciate it. If you guys are on Chris or Bashar's page, go over to my page, Locked in GSW Podcast, and hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. So until next time, guys, go Dub Nation.
Go Belly.
Go Warriors, baby.
No,
Whoop that trick.
Get those 21 wins for whoop that
No
trick in
feelings.
Boston. Fuck Oscar the Grouch.